All right, everybody. Welcome back to the Firestarter Coffee Podcast. This is episode 7, I believe. My name is Jai. I'm the owner of Firestarter Coffee Company, and I just started this podcast a few weeks ago just to talk about my business, talk about business in general, talk about life a little bit, what's going on, what I'm working on, maybe a little bit of current events. Sometimes I talk about politics. I'm not super political, though. But whatever's kind of got my interest over the past week. Let's see, make sure the audio is working. So we're just going to start off with a recap of the weekend. We did the farmers market again. We do it every weekend. It's right now, since we're starting small, we're starting local. It's our number one way of making new sales and meeting new people and meeting new customers and getting our name out there in the community. And slowly growing our social media pages and just getting people tuned in to what we're doing and buying our coffee. I roast fresh roasted coffee every week. It's super fresh. I source high quality coffee ingredients. But this is just kind of what I'm working on, what I'm building. Had actually a pretty great weekend. The weather here, and I'm in southern Illinois, the weather here really cooled off for a few days. I think we woke up and it was 60 degrees, just so nice. Because the previous week it was 100 degrees when we were out there in the tent in a big parking lot where the farmers market is. The weather is super up and down. But we were grateful to have some nice weather over the weekend. I think a lot more people came through the market, and we had a lot more sales. And that's really, really keeping us going, really, really helping out with getting us new customers and consistent business every week. I do have, subscribers that subscribe online to my, to get coffee every 2 weeks or every month. Excuse me. Oh. And I get random orders here and there. And I also am working on a couple wholesale accounts. I'm working on trying to get set up at a couple locations of multiple stores in the area and a coffee shop in the area, trying to start supplying coffee to them. But all that's kind of a work in progress. It's slow but steady. It's growing, and it just feels really good. I'm about a year into this since I launched. At first, it was like a big pop, and then it kind of settled down a little bit. It was pretty slow, somewhat discouraging. But I haven't, I'll probably never give up on this. And just now, I'm starting to see more business in general. I'm staying really busy with it. I'm on top of it. I'm working on it every day. I'm trying to grow. I still haven't really done any advertising. So once I start having a little bit more cash flow, a little bit more profit coming through, then I'm hoping to launch some advertising campaigns online to reach a broader audience. And I can ship all across the country. So I'm prepared to be able to fulfill those orders if that goes well. But I'm kind of taking it one step at a time. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. That kind of brings me to my first big subject that I was thinking about this past week, was how slow how long it takes to build something meaningful. And the business that I chose to get into, coffee roasting and, roasting coffee bags and supplying to coffee shops or getting in stores or selling direct to people and shipping to them. This whole business, I did not get into it for the money. And if I would have, that would have been really stupid. Because this is not the type of business you can get into and scale super quickly and get rich quick, basically. If I wanted to do that, I would have put a lot more effort and time and into my into learning about tech and like SaaS companies and marketing agencies, and I would have done something like that, because that kind of stuff can bring you a lot more money in a shorter period of time. And you can ride off into the sunset. You can sell your company and do whatever you want. But I wouldn't have liked it. I wouldn't have loved it. I wouldn't have been passionate about it. I would have woken up every day and not known what to do. But with this, it's slow, and hopefully, I obviously hope that someday it's able to bring me, be really lucrative, and I'm hopeful to have my own facility and my own employees and provide them a good life, and to be, to sell all over the country and to give myself and my future family a good life. And, I want all those things, of course, but, the only reason I can do this and hopefully have that someday is that I just love it so much. It's such a slow grind, and I have to balance so many different things. And it's like a little trickle like of that I get in return for all the work that I put in. And it wouldn't make, the only reason I'm able to get up at 5 a.m. on a Saturday and go to a farmer's market when it's 100 degrees and barely make any sales, or try to figure out every aspect of how a business functions. And I feel like the only reason I can bring myself to do all that stuff, like even the most tedious things where the work I put in, I don't see the return from it, is just because I love it. Like, I love the whole coffee industry. I love being able to make a product that people enjoy. I like that, I enjoy it. I drink it every day. I love getting up and having a challenge, something to work on. And, I have a million things to keep track of. And it's hard, especially as I start to grow more here. It's just more and more work. But it's exciting, it's hard, it's challenging, it's, sometimes it gives me a lot of doubt and a lot of frustration. Sometimes it's really gratifying. It's just, the whole thing is just, it's basically an adventure, I'm taking a leap into something that is not guaranteed. It's not making me rich quick. It's just something I really enjoy. I can get up every day and work on something I love, and it gives me a ton of hope for the future. And I just was thinking about that this past week. I was like, man, this would have been a really dumb thing to start if I wanted to, get rich quick, or have a I don't know if I'm even saying that right. I think the point I'm trying to make is, for me, and I think for a lot of people out there, I think choosing something, especially if it's your own and you're building yourself, but if you choose something that you genuinely like and you want to learn every day and get better every day, you choose something that you're just naturally interested in, your life is just going to be so much better. Even if you're not making a ton of money at first, because there's hardly anything you could do that you would make a ton of money, immediately. You have to work at everything, for long periods of time, in business in general. But I don't even know if that totally makes sense. And I'm not a business expert at all. All I can go off is my own experience and what I see, and just the path that I've chosen to go down. It's just, I hope that you guys have something like that in your life, where every day feels like you're building something exciting, and it's challenging you and it's fulfilling you, and it's been a really cool experience so far. And I'm only a year in, and I haven't made a ton of money. I plan to. I hope to. I'm starting to put things in motion that'll slowly help me get there, hopefully. But it's a slow grind. But it's great. I'm going to end that rant there. I feel like I was repeating myself a lot, but I was just reflecting on that this past week and just how much more fulfilled I feel working on this than in other times in my life when I was just working, going to jobs that I didn't necessarily feel passionate about. When you just want to, basically just want to die, or you're waiting for the weekend. You're waiting to take some PTO. You're waiting to go on a vacation, and when you're at work, you're trapped. Like, you're literally just trapped. I hope I never have to feel that again. But I think I'm on the right path, and I hope you guys are kind of thinking about, either on that path or thinking about doing something like that, and treat your life like it's an adventure. Like, take things on that might go horribly wrong or that are going to be hard, and you really don't know what you're doing at first, but that's kind of what life is about. You got to try new things, or else you'll be so comfortable to the point of you'll just die early. Anyway, I don't know if that even made sense. Along those lines, something else I was thinking about this week was how important it's been recently for me to stay organized. I've always been a pretty organized person. Maybe not in my physical space around my office is pretty messy here, but when it comes to things I have to do, things I'm working on, I'm pretty organized. I'm pretty good at prioritizing things. And lately, I've just been making so many notes. I make checklists every day, whether it's on my notebook or in my phone. I do like a combination, and I have notes in the Notion app that are more like structured and bigger projects I'm working on. But man, it's been so valuable to make those checklists every day. All the little things I have to do, just being able to check those off day by day, all those things, whether it's personal stuff or work stuff or whatever things I need to do around the house. Like, if I can just dump all that out in the morning when I'm thinking about it, or the night before, just so I'm not thinking about all this stuff bouncing around in my head. Like, I need to do this and this, and I might forget about that. Like, just put it down somewhere. It's been huge for me, just to stay organized and to make sure I'm getting things done and not falling behind. I'm realizing as I get older, it is, being an adult and starting my own business and all that, it can be a lot to manage, and it can be overwhelming at times. And just being an adult in general, you have a ton of responsibilities, and you're trying to manage a ton of different stuff between, even if you're just working a 9 to 5, you got to work, you got to come home, you got to take care of your house, you got to, maybe you have a significant other, and then they have a family, and you have a family, and you have friends, and, it's a lot of stuff. On top of that, add trying to start a business or whatever hobbies, passions you have. Everything can just become a lot, and it can be hard to keep track of everything, and you can start to feel stressed and you're falling behind. Obviously it depends on how much you take on, versus other people, but, lately I've just been taking a ton of notes, doing a ton of checklists. Would recommend if you're anything like me and you start to feel like overwhelmed by having a lot to do and you like to keep things in your head and keep track of stuff, it'll drive you crazy. But those are some of the work/business stuff I was thinking about this past week. I was thinking about passion over money, and man, I'd rather be doing all this and not making a ton of money than going to a 9 to 5 where maybe I'm making a lot of money, but I just hate it. I know that's a pretty cliche thing. I know, people talk about that thing all the time, but man, it really hits. That being said, I do have a potential job in the works that is a 9 to 5, because this isn't my main job. But it should be a really good situation, where I know I know the people really well, and they're working on something really cool, and I'd have a lot of flexibility, which would be great. Since I got laid off earlier this year, and I've been on the job hunt, so I'm working on that, and it'd be great if that works out. If not, I just still have to continue building this business, and I still have this to look forward to every day. But definitely a weird, crazy, all over the place transitionary period of my life right now. Trying to build something and having a lot of uncertainty. But like I said, like it's an adventure. I think that at some points life is gonna feel like that, which is cool. Definitely repeating myself a ton. I'm going to move on to the biggest news of the week. This is the absolutely pathetic state that we are in as a country and as people who look at stuff on the internet. We are so screwed because the biggest topic of the week was a Blue Jean ad and an actress that you guys all know the story. I'm not gonna comment on the really the contents of the ad, or anything. The only thing that I have worth saying is how absolutely silly it is that was the biggest story of the week. That's what people are choosing to argue about. This is what we focus on. These are the real issues that are tearing apart our country. This is what we choose to go at each other's throats about. Very interesting stuff. Sometimes it just makes me wonder, like, what man, I don't know. It makes me wonder how dumb we are. I mean, we've always been kind of dumb. We like to focus on really silly stuff, just in the news and on the internet in general, but sometimes I'm like, why are we even talking about this? It might be a dumb ad, it might be a silly ad, it might be made in poor taste, it might be not so self-aware, it might be self-aware, I don't know. It might be deep, it might not be deep. I just my only takeaway is that we're really dumb for arguing with each other about something that none of us really care about. I promise you, none of us really care about a certain actress and a jean company, and it's amazing that every week we find something new to care about, to the point where we are angry at each other and posting, and making huge sweeping generalizations and conclusions about companies and people and people in the ads. And it's amazing that every week we find something new to assign politics to, and to just rip each other apart. This is a really fun time to be an American, with nonstop crazy stuff all the time. But I'm just gonna focus on building my business and trying to make a stupid podcast and try to make dumb videos on the internet and try to continue selling coffee to people. That's my main focus. I don't have that much else to say. Kind of a slower week. I've been a little all over the place with what I have going on, things I'm working on. I didn't have a whole lot of topics today. I'm just kind of repeating myself and rambling. Not even sure if I'll even upload this one. But hey, at least I did it. At least I put in the effort. And when you're trying to build something like a brand or a company, business, you got to do a whole bunch of different things all at the same time, and just hope that some of it catches on. If it doesn't, that's fine. But I'm just selling coffee beans at online and at the market. But I'm trying to make TikToks and YouTube videos and YouTube shorts and podcasts, and I'm going to farmers markets, and I'm trying to talk to new wholesale customers. I'm talking to stores. I'm working on advertisements. I'm trying to keep up with all my materials I need to buy. I'm trying to negotiate better rates if I can. I'm trying to just do a whole lot of stuff all at once. And sometimes I feel like I'm not doing any one part of it amazingly, but I am doing all of it across the board pretty well. And that's just kind of the point I'm at. I'm doing all of it by myself still. Hopefully the business grows to a point where I can hire people who are more specialized in different areas who can help take it to another level. But for now, this is where I'm at. Thank you guys for listening. Last episode we had a few extra listeners come in. That was pretty cool. Handful of people watched my last podcast. That was pretty cool. I'm not sure why you would stay this late, but if you did, thanks for listening. I'm going to try to make a coffee roasting vlog today and try to upload that this week. We'll see. We'll see if I can get enough footage and have enough to say in that. But thank you guys for listening. Hope you guys have a good week. Work hard, but also take some time to relax and enjoy yourself and hang out with some friends or family, or take care of yourself too. So thanks, guys.